Peace. What's poppin', guys? All right, let's talk about the Raw after Mania for April the 3rd, 2023. This show, for the most part, was okay at times. So we kicked the show off with Triple H. He got a massive pop. He cut a long promo. I'm not going to go over everything he said. He just mentioned basically the attendance from both nights equaling up to 161,000 plus people. He thanked the fans. He thanked certain camera guys. A camera guy named Stu. He just basically just wasted 10 minutes of thanking everybody. And then he mentions Roman Reigns. The fans boo them. I mean, they start to boo Triple H, and then they boo Roman Reigns. So Triple H and Roman Reigns, they shake hands, and they embrace on the stage. I was like, oh, way to go, heel. So I do like that. That was cool. So then, Roman comes out. Pyro everywhere for him. So Roman gets on the mic and says he guesses that after last night's performance, we should do it like this tonight. Roman calls on Hollywood to acknowledge him. Cody Rhodes comes out. So Rhodes, he also gets a bunch of pyro and fireworks. He heads to the ring. So Cody, he's selling his ribs from what happened the previous night. So Rhodes says he knows what he wants to talk about this time. It says today is turning out a lot differently than he and others anticipated, mentioning the merger with UFC, obviously. He thought that he would be standing here as champion. Cody says he will acknowledge this. Last night, Reigns was the better competitor. So there were some boos there. Cody says he knows that Roman knows that he won a lot of matches by skating by, but when he was the victor. But last night, that wasn't the case. Cody had him. So Cody knows what he wants to talk about, and it boils down to one word. A lot of fans chant rematch. And Cody says rematch. Reigns, he smirks to the idea. Then he hands the mic over to Paul Heyman, who's thinking on behalf of the tribal chief. When exactly would Cody want this hypothetical rematch? Cody says tonight. The crowd pops. Reigns motions to Heyman to deny Cody. So Heyman says no rematch. Not tonight. Not in Puerto Rico at WWE Backlash. Not at SummerSlam. Not at Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, Madison Square Garden, so on. No. Heyman says that's what you call calling the shot because you live on the island of relevancy. Cody says he's not in the mood for Heyman stuff tonight. Cody knows exactly how tough Roman is. He says last night he eventually fought Reigns and Solo both anyways. So let's do a tag match tonight. Let's do something now. Heyman talks it over with Roman, and then he authorized by Reigns to inform Cody that his challenge is accepted on two parameters. If someone in the locker room is student enough to team with Cody, it has to be someone who wrestled this past weekend at WrestleMania. Heyman says now Cody will see that he's alone because whoever comes down that aisle will never get a title shot from Reigns as long as he's champion. So who do you want to talk about now, Cody? Then we get Brock Lesnar's. Then we get Brock Lesnar come out. He comes out to a massive pop. And then Corey Graves, he points out the stipulation of that Brock that stipulation doesn't apply to Brock because he lost last year at SummerSlam, which was great, and that was logical booking right there. So Brock is all smiles as he enters the ring and shakes Cody's hand. So Lesnar and Cody, they face off with Reigns and Solo. So Roman and Solo, they back away. They exit. And then Brock hugs Cody Rhodes. And then that was it. I was like, oh shit, okay. I'm sold with this. This is cool. First match tonight, Elias versus Omos. Omos wins. Who really cares? We didn't need this on the show at all, period. And I still want people to realize, just because you didn't get a lot of changes on this show, it doesn't mean that you won't get change going forward. Again, a lot of people think it's because, we just need to bring up guys from NXT. That's not how it works. You have to have plans when you bring people up. You just can't just bring people up just because, it's Raw after Mania. That doesn't mean anything, especially not now, especially with a merger taking place. Like, just because we see Omos and Elias, that doesn't mean we're going to see them when the merger begins. Those two could very well be released, even before the merger. Again, you have to start thinking logically here. They're going to start trimming the fat. We're going to see releases. We're going to. He would need to really understand that. Like, there are going to be releases. People who are on the lower tier of the mid-card and who are just basically job guys, most of those guys are going to be gone. So, like your Ali's, your Akira Tozawas and stuff like that, a lot of those guys are going to be fleshed out completely. Moving on. So the Usos, they knock on Reigns' locker room backstage. They come to talk to Roman, but Paul Heyman opens the door and says that Roman is inside with Solo, talking strategy for the main event. Heyman says Roman wanted them to know that this was a spectacular WrestleMania weekend for some, and their contributions are greatly appreciated. So Heyman says the Jet is fired up, and after Roman and Solo mop up the floor with Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar in the main event, we'll be on the Jet with you. But Roman wants you to get a head start and meet us there. The Usos, they walk away. So they're basically off tonight. Heyman closes the door, and we're hearing him tell Roman that he took care of it. So he basically lied to the Usos. I'm like, oh, okay. I see where this is going. I like it. Next, Kathy Kelly, she's ringside with the host of Backlash, Bad Bunny. So he's in front. She asked how excited is he to host Backlash in Puerto Rico. He greets Los Angeles in Spanish. Then he says he's happy to be the Backlash host, but today he's just enjoying Raw as a fan. He's grateful and ready for anything, he says. So Bad Bunny hands the mic back to Kathy Kelly and takes a seat. So next, that leads us to Rey Mysterio versus Austin Theory. So Rey greets Bad Bunny in Spanish. He and his rings the post for the fans. He says that it's been an emotional week. He was just inducted into the Hall of Fame. Rey thanks the fans because they said that he deserved it, which is absolutely true. He does deserve being in the Hall of Fame. He should have been in a while ago, honestly. He really could have been in like a couple years back, honestly. Let's just be real. Basically, Rey continues on saying that he wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the fans. He goes on to thank Bad Bunny. He's interrupted by Austin Theory. Austin Theory says he and Rey deserve respect as they were the only ones who did exactly what they said they would do at WrestleMania. Theory says Rey beat the product of his own bad parenting. While Austin Theory beat a legend in John Cena. Fans chant, "You tapped out," but Theory says they tapped out for not believing in him. That was a good line right there. Theory goes on talking trash about how the Cena chant annoys him. He says Cena isn't here. He's a part-timer. Theory says he'll beat Ray and add him to the collection. Ray says the only thing that Theory will be collecting is his teeth after the 619. So the referee comes down. The match is official. Theory wins, A-Town down. And I like that. Post-match, this was great. So Damien Priest, he motions for Dominik to enter the ring. So he starts to attack Rey Mysterio. So Dom goes back out. He has a couple of twist words with Bad Bunny in Spanish. Dominik turns to leave. Then he's met with a right hand by Bad Bunny. So Damien Priest comes out. He slams Bunny over the barricade. So Bad Bunny is in between Priest and Dominik now. They have some words in Spanish. So Dominik shoves Priest. No, Bad Bunny shoves Priest. Damn. And Dominik grabs Bad Bunny, but Bunny drops him again with a nasty right. Then Priest drops Priest drops Bad Bunny. Then Damien Priest, he clears the announce table. He choke slams Bad Bunny through the table, and I love it. This was great. And then Dominik goes back into the ring and beats on Ray some more. Great segment here. Loved it. Then Corey Graves, he explains to what happened to Bad Bunny and how, he was just a guest and one of the biggest music stars in the world, which is absolutely true. So Adam Pearce is backstage. He's yelling at Damien Priest for hitting Bad Bunny. When Bunny was just there to support them, Priest says Bunny provoked him. Priest says if he didn't like Bunny, if he wasn't his homeboy, if he wasn't his friend, then Pearce would really have a reason to be upset. So I do like that. That's pretty cool. So that does set up the rumored tag match. Dominik and Damien Priest versus Ray and Bad Bunny at Backlash. That's gonna rule. I'm gonna love this. I'm all in. This is great. So next, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they're in the ring celebrating their win. So they get a "You Deserve It" chant, and Kevin Owens says he agrees, but then he also says that the fans deserve it also. So Sami goes on to speak, but he gets a Olay chant. So Sami goes on about how they made it to the main event of WrestleMania 39. He knows that this is so corny, but he'll say it once and then move on. None of this would be possible for him if it wasn't for you. So thank you. So he thanks the fans. Sami's ready to celebrate with Los Angeles. Owens agrees, but hopes their idea of celebrating is the same because he wants to celebrate with a fight. Owens goes on and calls out any tag team in the back who wants to make a name for themselves. Out comes the Street Profits. So the Profits, they shout out Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They get the fans to agree that they deserve this toast they have in the red solo cups. Dawkins mentioned how they won their WrestleMania Showcase match the other night. And then he suggests a title match. Ford says they have to put some stamp after stamp, but nobody knows their names. All they want is a smoke, and they want it tonight. So, the Street Profits versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens for the WWE Undisputed Tag Team Championships. Sami Zayn wins via the haluva kick on Montez Ford. This was a great match. It was fun. It was hard-hitting. This was great. I enjoyed it. Right decision here. It was made. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be upset because there weren't any call-ups, but really and truthfully, if you look at NXT, there aren't really any solid, good tag teams right now. There's not any that are ready for the main roster outside of Pretty Deadly. I love the Creeds, but they need more time in the oven a little bit. I mean, They could do well on the main roster, but they just need a little bit more time in the oven. Briggs and Jensen, they absolutely suck. Gallus is okay, but there's not many that you could do there. Many call-ups that you could do there. This is fine though. So Rollins, he's backstage with Kathy Kelly now. Rollins says that he's feeling good, and after sending Logan Paul and KSI back to social media wasteland, but something doesn't feel right. He can't put his finger on it. Rollins says the party isn't back here, it's out there. So Mr. DJ, play a song. So Rollins' theme starts up. The fans sing along. And then Rollins gets in the ring, and then they sing his song for like 2 minutes. And that was the segment. I mean, that was it. It's crazy, but it absolutely kind of makes sense. Because who knew would have stepped up? Who in the back? Who? Jay White? No. And I like Jay White, but if you're going to do a surprise, I feel like it should be at like a Mania or whatever. I mean, it's fine. Again, it's fine. I mean, thankfully it wasn't Johnny Gargano. I would have been pissed if it would have been Gargano. It's fine, I guess. So Kathy Kelly is backstage with Bobby Lashley. She asked about his mood after winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on Friday. So Lashley says he has a lot of pent-up frustration and not competing at WrestleMania. After coming on the show, burn him up. So Bronson Reed interrupts. So Bronson Reed insults Lashley. They have a couple of choice words. So Lashley wants to fight. Reed says he can't do it tonight, but eventually Lashley will learn his lesson. So Bronson Reed walks off. I do like this. I think this is going to be good right here. This is going to be Lashley's new feud, which will be tremendous. So Ali, he walks up and talks about Lashley's negativity and says how he needs to be more positively Ali. So Ali says Lashley should never take no for an answer. Lashley says so he should take Ali to the ring and maul him. Ali says no. Lashley, he decks Ali, beats him through the gorilla position, through the curtain, down the ramp into the ring. So we get an impromptu match. Lashley wins via the Hurt Lock. Who cares, though? Doesn't really matter. So, moving on. Roman Reigns and Solo and Paul Heyman. They're backstage talking. So, Reigns asks if his cousins are gone. Paul Heyman says yes. They went to the jet. Roman asks if Heyman knew Brock Lesnar would be here. Heyman says it's the day after WrestleMania, when Lesnar usually takes about 6 to 9 months off, which is true in most cases. Reigns asks how this happened. Heyman brings up how Lesnar was unable to get a title shot from Reigns due to the last SummerSlam. And he says he has nothing to lose. So Roman says Lesnar has had nothing to lose, but this is fine. Smashing Lesnar was one of his greatest accolades. So Roman says he will also smash Cody tonight. Then when he's done smashing them, he'll tag in Solo and will show Cody who's really ready. So I do like that. That was pretty cool. That was solid. So next, Bianca Belair, she's out next. So she says she can't be the EST without getting in the ring with the best. So she gives praise to Asuka, as she's one of the best she's ever wrestled. And thanks Asuka for pushing her. So Bianca says, we did it. Well, we also said that we did it. We did the three-peat at WrestleMania. And then out comes Rhea Ripley. So Rhea taunts Bianca and points out how she decided to challenge Charlotte Flair instead of Bianca. But she promises Belair that they'll get back to this and she'll beat Bianca just like she beat Charlotte this weekend. So Bianca says Rhea made her decision for a reason, and she's SmackDown champion, so stand on that alone. She's open to getting back in the ring with Rhea. Bianca says one day when Rhea is ready, they'll see who the best of the best is. So Rhea then drops the mic, dips out, and then that leads us on to our next match. For whatever reason, it's a number one contenders match. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Dakota Kai and Io Sky. So basically, who wins? It doesn't really matter. Oh yeah, Liv and Raquel, they win via the Oblivion. Who cares? It doesn't make any sense. So the match is going to take place next week. I'm not mad at this. It doesn't really matter. Lita and Becky Lynch will probably face Ronda and Shayna probably going into SummerSlam, more than likely. Moving on. So, Miz, he's out next. Miz asked if everyone enjoyed WrestleMania 39. He knows they did because WrestleMania was full of The Miz. He goes on and says he thought he would roast some people or do this and that as host, but he didn't think he would have 3 matches. Miz goes on, he talks about what Snoop Dogg did to him, put him in situations with Pat McAfee, George Kittle, Shane McMahon, and Snoop himself. So Miz calls Shane Jumping Shane McMahon for a pop. He says he beat Shane so bad he couldn't finish the match. So Miz says Snoop did the worst sleeper's elbow in history. Miz says he's done with surprises and there'll be no more. So then we get Matt Riddle, which is cool to see him back. So Miz starts to wail on Matt Riddle. Then out of nowhere, Riddle hits a couple of strikes. He hits a ripcord lariat knee, and he drops Miz with the Bro Derek tombstone, which is great. So I like that. I'm glad that Matt Riddle's back. It's pretty cool. So Corey Graves gives us an update of Bad Bunny, saying that he had to be taken to a local hospital because he may have suffered a broken shoulder, a separated shoulder, which is cool. So Byron Saxton, he's backstage with Trish, Lita, and Becky Lynch. He asked for thoughts of coming off on the big weekend. So Trish talks about how the weekend was in general, and the win over Damage Control was just amazing. So Lita says they're just getting started. Becky Lynch felt like she has her life. Lynch has felt like her life was on repeat for the last 9 months dealing with Damage Control. But now the chapter is closed and she can get back to the goal of restoring prestige to the titles. And by doing that, she's going to beat Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Then the main event. Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa versus Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes. This was absolutely tremendous. So, Roman and Solo, they come out first. Then Cody, and then Brock. So basically, out of nowhere, the match is about to start. So Brock attacks Cody from behind. He lays him out with an F5. Everyone's shocked. So Brock does another F5 to Cody. The Bloodline, they dip out. And Brock does a bunch of German suplexes. He does like 2 or 3 German suplexes. Brock gets the ring hammer. He hits Cody's chest. He smashes Cody with a chair shot. He does another F5. Basically, Brock beats the shit out of Cody for like 8 minutes. It was tremendous. German suplexes everywhere, F5s everywhere. He F5'd him on the, through the announce table. This was just tremendous. Like, they even said on commentary, why did Brock do it? This doesn't make any sense. This is absolutely great. I love this. We got to see a phenomenal 8-minute beatdown, because this happened at 10:52 when this took place, and I was like, this is brilliant. I loved this. This is what Jon Moxley was trying to do with CM Punk last year with the whole Rocky 3 thing. This is what he meant. This is tremendous. I love this. I love this. Fans were booing. Fans were shocked. This is the adversity that Cody needs to go through now. Now I'm on board now. Now I'm on board. And I think that Brock doing this is tremendous. It makes a bunch of sense. And I can't wait to see what happens next with this. This is great. It could be a situation as to where the Bloodline may have bribed Brock to do this to Cody. Who knows? We don't know. But Brock just snapping like that and turning into a badass heel, that was great. Other than that, man, the show itself just wasn't that good. It really just wasn't. And I get people wanted surprises and stuff, but if you watch NXT on a regular basis, a lot of people aren't ready yet. Just a lot of people aren't ready. Like, their characters aren't fully developed yet and ready yet. And then don't forget, the merger is still going to take place. So on that note, thank you guys for watching. Please hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe for my videos. What did you guys think of the show? Peace.
To the